Hello everyone, myself Sowmya, Assistant Professor in CSE AIML Department, MLR Institute of Technology. So in this video, we are going to cover about Flask, redirect and errors. So coming to the overview of this presentation covers Flask, redirect and errors. So what are the different standard HTTP codes we have? So about function, and we will also see some example applications. So what is this Flask, redirect and errors? So this Flask response, in the Flask application, the response will be generated by the server. So whenever the server is generating the response, it will generate the response based on the client request. So whenever the client is requesting, he will fill some details. For example, I am filling my Gmail login page. I'll give some username and password followed by click button, submit button. So then that request will be sent to the server. So this request will be raised by the client by filling the form. It will be reached to the server. So server will have two possibilities of responses here. It may be a successful login page or it may be a error page. So based on your credentials. So if your details are correct, then it will be redirected to a successful login page. If the details are not correct, then it will be redirected to a failure page. So how the server will do that redirection? So that can be done using this method called redirect. So coming to the syntax of this redirect method, so redirect, it will take three parameters here. Location, so where it wants to redirect. We have some a page here. If it is a login page, successful login page, it will be entered into our Gmail login page, mail page, right, where we can see our mails. So what is the location where it wants to redirect, and what is the status code? So for every response, there will be some HTTP status code will be attached. If it is a success or else you are searching for something, and if it is found or if it is not found, for everything we have some predefined HTTP status code. So that status code will also be attached along with the response. And what is the response it is sending? So these are the three parameters the redirect function will take. So location, so where it is nothing but URL where it wants to redirect, status code. So for each and every response, there will be some HTTP status code. So that we can see in the browser's header. And the response, so what is the future response you want to generate here? For example, we have a status code called 302. So 302 meaning is found. So we can observe we are executing the Flask application. Simultaneously, some codes will be generated in the backend. Backend in the sense that command prompt. In the command prompt, we can see some codes. So for each and every code, we have some meaning. So in the front end, in the output window, whatever you are executing, whatever you are seeing, for every action, there will be some HTTP code. So that HTTP code you can see in the command prompt. So we'll see one example for this. So here we know these two are common. We are importing all the, the related thing, classes and predefined functions from the Flask package. And you're creating object for this Flask, that is app. And here I'm using different roots here. One is /index. One is /success and the other one is /login. So if it is /index, so it is executing the index method. So this index method, what it is doing, it is simply redirecting render underscore template in the sense index page will directly redirect to the login3.html. That means it is actually a front end, like a front end. So now upon success, if the root is success, then it is simply printing a message logged in successfully. And we have another root that is /login. And here for this root method, we also have second optional parameter, options. So here we are passing options as methods. So what are the possible methods we have? In the front end, from the front end login3.html, you're sending some data to the server. How you're sending the data to the server? So we have two possibilities here, either using post method or using get method. So I'm mentioning the possible methods here. It may be post or it may be get. And now for this root, what is the method you are executing? Login method. So what this login method is doing? So first you are checking whether the requested method is post or not. I know we have two possible methods, get and post, but I am doing this process only for method post. So first I am checking request.method is equal to post. So what is this request here? Request is a predefined object which will contain about the requesting information. Who will generate this request? The client will generate the request. So whenever the client is requesting server, it will send some information, right, or client information. So all these information will be stored in a predefined object called request. So whatever the information you want, you can access that using request object. So in the request, we have different attributes like method, forms, args, cookie, keys, like that. So out of that, which option, which attribute you want to access? Method attribute. So request dot method is equal to post. So if the requested method is post and request dot another attribute, what is this attribute? Form. So it will contain the form information. So the client is sending a request through a HTML form. So that form details will be available in a attribute called form. So form of, so what it is? It is a field name, the name of the field. So we have a form like this. This is username and this is password. So like this we have two fields. So the field name is username. So actually form is array here. So array is using the index as username. So it will give the value which is present in this text field. So you are checking two conditions here. The first condition is the requested method should be post and the username should be admin. So if the username is admin, then what you are doing, you are redirecting to a URL page. What is that? Success. So where we have the success URL? Here we have, this is success URL. So if the username is admin, what is the message you are getting? Logged in successfully. So you are redirecting, you are using the Flask redirect function here. So if your details are correct, it is redirecting to a successful page. Otherwise, if the username is not correct, return redirect URL for index. So here we have URL for index. So what is the URL for index? login3.html. So in the login3.html only you are giving the details. So if the username is correct, you will simply get the message successfully logged in. Otherwise, it will be stayed in the same page. What is that page? login3.html. Why? Because the URL for index is login3.html only. So this we know, if we have multiple programs in the same application, we can use this. So here, what does this login3.html contains? So this is login3.html. It's a HTML program. So here I'm writing a form. So what is the method I'm using? Post method I'm using. And what is the action? Action is equal to /login. So when this action attribute will work, whenever you click on the submit button. If I click on the submit button after entering the username, where it will go? It will go to the URL /login. What is the /login URL? This one. So /login URL. So for the /login URL, we have a method called login. So this method will be executed. So in this method, what you're checking for the username and the method. Yes, my method is post, and if the username is admin, it will be redirected to a successful login page. Otherwise, it will be redirected to the same login page. That's all. So we will try to execute this. So this is the message you will get upon clicking the submit button after entering the username as admin. So this is login3.py. Right. So this I'm storing in my new folder. So we have created a new folder in the MLR IT. Right. So here you need to save login3.py, and we have HTML file also, that is login3.html. So if it is a HTML file, we should save in the templates folder. So C drive, users, MLR IT, we have new folder. Here we have templates folder. Here I should save this as login3.html. So you can directly execute the login3.html, but before executing login3.html, you should execute the login3.py. So how to execute the Python application? Go to command prompt. Okay, so I'm executing the application now. Before executing, we should execute the Python application. So to execute the Python application, I'm opening the command prompt. So in the command prompt, so first open the new folder. Then after that, activate the scripts, env scripts, activate, and after that, execute your application. Set Flask _ app is equal to your application name is login3.py. Then after this, Flask run. So now it is giving one IP. Right. So I'm giving the default IP With the default IP, I don't get anything. Why? Because our program is saying, so when I'll get this login3.html by giving the /index. So after this, I should give /index. So now I'm getting this page. Now here, if I give the username as admin, then I'm getting the message logged in successfully. Otherwise, instead of admin, if I give any other name, it is in the same page. I mean, it will be redirected to the again login page only. So this is about the redirect function of Flask. So next, before going to the errors, we discussed about we have HTTP codes. For each and every response, there will be some HTTP code associated. So here are some HTTP codes we have. So generally, we will get 302 as a default HTTP code that is found if you are searching for something or if you are executing something, and if it is successful, then if the meaning of it is found, so then you will get the code as 302. And we have these are the different codes we have: reserved, use, praxi, not modify, see other. But generally, you will get this code 302 in the command prompt. You can also check our command prompt. Just now we executed one program. See what are the codes you are getting here. So 404, 302. So whatever the green color you are getting here, this is a successful thing. That means found. So that is 302 you are getting. So coming to the next function is a abort function. So sometimes we may get some errors in the front end itself. So we know that, if I do this, I may get this type of error. But still we do that, but we don't get any proper error information. For example, I'm doing a file application and I'm trying to access a file which is not authorized. I don't have permission for that file, but still I'm trying to access it. I know I may get some unauthorized access error in my program, but still if I don't handle that properly, if I don't mention that properly in the program, what I'll get in the output, simply not found. So that we will be considered as an error. So if it is a successful thing, we will get the proper output. If it is not successful, immediately we will get not found page not found, something error. So that is common for everyone. Like we will simply get the error information. We don't get the error information, but I want to display the error information also. So what type of error I am getting? So because of what error I am not getting the output. So if you want to know about the error information, we can use this abort function. You know when your program may be aborted, because of what error it is aborted. To know that information, you are using abort function. So flask.abort, you need to pass the code also. So we have some predefined codes for different things. Like if it is an unauthorized access, so we have some code for as 401. So if I am accessing dealing with the files, I can use the code like 401. And you are requesting something which is not available or which you don't have permission, then you can also use 400 for bad request. So likewise, we have some error codes for predefined meanings for forbidden, not found, not acceptable, unsupported media files, too many requests. So if you are facing any of these problems in your program, simply to get the information about these, you can also call this function abort of 400. So instead of getting the not found page, you can get the information about your error, because of what error you got this information. So coming to the example, so here we're not specifically doing any program here. I'm just giving example for abort function. So here we are creating object for Flask class. Then I'm setting the root. For the default root, you're simply getting welcome to the home page. And I have one more root /restricted. So it is a restricted page. So no one can allow into this. So /restricted. So /restricted will execute the method called restricted. So here I'm making the condition value as true. So that means defaultly the condition is true. So if condition value is true, so if of true, so obviously it will execute the function abort of 401. So what is abort of 401 actually? It is unauthorized access. So we will get the information about the unauthorized access. So that's all. You're simply returning a message, you have access to the restricted area. So it will also give what is this abort of 401. 401 is actually unauthorized access. So you are trying to access some unauthorized location. So like that you will get the information. So this is the information you are getting. If it is a successful login, for the default login, you will get welcome to the home page. And if you are entering into the restricted area, then you will get this message unauthorized. We'll try to execute this. So this is error file. So I'm just saving it in the new folder. So I'm executing this. Set Flask underscore app is equal to err.py and run your application Flask run. Then it is generating the IP. So if I copy this default IP, I will get welcome to home page. But if I give restricted, see what I'm getting? Unauthorized. So generally we will get not found page, but we have called abort function by passing 401. That's why you're getting unauthorized. So likewise, you can also change this code to 400 and I'm saving it. And now I'm again executing this application. Now if I enter into restricted, so what I'm getting now? Bad request. So 400 code is for actually bad request. So the browser sent a request that the server could not understand. So that is the meaning of bad request. So you can understand about the error information by using this abort function. So that is about redirecting the page to a successful page or failure page or to any other page, and also about the abort function and with the example applications we have discussed in this video. Thank you.